Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is ECW, coming to you live from. Do you know what? I actually never checked the place. It was my own bad. I think we're back in the US finally after a little bit away. But anyway, tonight is another big night for the ECW brand. Tonight we find out the #1 contender. There we go, San Diego. Tonight we find out the #1 contender for the ECW Championship in tonight's main event. But before that, we have some great matches coming up for you here tonight. To start things off with the show, we're going to be seeing cruiserweight action between Trevor Lee and Neville. Neville, who successfully defended his cruiserweight championship in that 6-man ladder match in the main event of ECW last week, wants to continue on his run here by going through Trevor Lee and looking to pick up yet another victory. Then from main event, though, is what we are focusing on here tonight. Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe will go one-on-one with one another in the quest to become the #1 contender for Seth Rollins' ECW Championship. It is a big opportunity for both men. It's a big ask for both men. Can they succeed in that moment? Who will go to face Seth Rollins? The next ECW pay-per-view? We'll find out in your main event here tonight. But until then, let's get things underway with some cruiserweight action. As this match gets underway, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what shape are both men in when they head into this contest? Are they both still alright after last week? Because it was a grueling match. It was a grueling 6-man ladder match, numerous plunges from the ladders, and here comes Neville again. We've seen him do this over the last few weeks, just jumping his opponent from behind. No time to wait for anyone, no care to wait for anyone. Neville gonna go straight after Trevor Lee here and get this match underway prematurely, which is just what the Cruiserweight Champion wants to do. Regardless if Trevor Lee's the one with control as we head into the ring, that doesn't bother him. What bothers him is having to sit through Trevor Lee's entrance, having to sit through anyone's entrance who is not the king of the cruiserweights. And here goes Neville now on the attack on Trevor Lee. Let's see how this one will get underway. This is looking like a very competitive cruiserweight matchup. Trevor Lee with a height advantage. Neville, though, pound for pound, one of the toughest athletes on ECW, without a shadow of a doubt. So he's got that bonus going for him, but Trevor Lee's come out of the blocks fighting here. Not a big fan of the jump from behind from Neville, but he's going to take that in his stride. There's a nice drop kick. Trevor Lee goes down. Neville in control to start things off here. As Trevor Lee slowly gets up to his feet, it's just so Neville can send him right back down and go to work on him here. A splash that one was there by Neville. Quickly stopped though by Trevor Lee, and let's see what this what he can get going here. He's got a leg hooked fisherman suplex, maybe nails it. Doesn't go for the bridge though. Well, way too early in the match to be fair to be going for a fisherman suplex pinning predicament more so than anything. Forearm shot thrown away there by Trevor Lee as he now hits a big Uranagi. Trevor Lee going to take flight here. He's going to go way up high for this one. Oh, went for a frog splash there. Neville thought that one through and was able to get out of the way. But the king of the cruiserweight still can't out-capitalize here. Oh, taking out the leg there with a shin breaker there. That'll do a lot to take away the high-flying aspect of Neville. Oh, that's going to do everything to take away kind of, well, most of Neville. Vicious stomps away on the chest by Trevor Lee. Determined here to try and pick up the win over Neville. What a win it would be as well. I would really just, without a doubt, make him #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title. But Neville's got a few other things in mind. Neville thinks it's his time, his era, and he's going to try and prove it here. Shooting star press, and a beautiful one at that. Cover on Trevor Lee right after. Can Neville put him away here? No, he can't. Neville now, though, with Trevor Lee down and in total control to put this one away. Standing corkscrew moonsault. Trevor Lee's got nothing going for him. Red arrow by Neville. That should seal the deal early on. 2 and 3. No one can stop Neville right now. The king of the cruiserweights, above and beyond anyone else on the ECW roster. And that just goes to show how incredible Neville's been since winning that Cruiserweight title. Soaking in that victory here. King of the Cruiserweight celebrating that one, and oh, I thought he was running to the ropes to celebrate. Nope. He's running to the ropes because he's got unfinished business with Trevor Lee. Here's the vicious side of Neville just being exploited once again. We saw him there soaking in that win and celebrating it. But then it just all turns around. It all goes downhill, and Neville brings out this vicious side of him. Turns Trevor Lee around, and here we go again. That standing corkscrew moonsault. And just in case Trevor Lee and the rest of the Cruiserweights didn't get the message, here it is. Red Arrow once more. Neville's division and Neville's time. Alright, well, he's not done yet. The King of the Cruiserweights clearly voicing his displeasure once more, and voicing it right at none other than yours truly, in regards to the fact that he thinks that giving him the main event of ECW is going to make up for pushing him off the SummerSlam card. I explained my actions, but Neville is truly not best pleased about it. And there we go. Neville once again reiterating that that warning that he sent before SummerSlam. It doesn't matter that Seth Rollins is a champion now. In his eyes, there's only one champion in ECW. That's Neville. And the King of the Cruiserweights before long will be the King of ECW. Mark his words. The Cruiserweight division has been destroyed. Neville eyes a bigger prize. So with Neville saying that the Cruiserweight division has been destroyed, does that mean he's going to think about giving up that title and going after the ECW title? Or is he just going to continue to rule over it and continue his King of the Cruiserweights moniker? Some unanswered questions in that respect, and something we're going to have to find out, I would assume, maybe sooner rather than later, but certainly something for Neville to ponder there. Does he want to remain Cruiserweight champion in a division that he's currently firmly in control of, or does he want to go up and try and go after the likes of Seth Rollins? We'll see. It's all up to whatever Neville wants. But here we go. We're going to move on now to this contest. One-on-one match between the two men who did not pick up the wins in the little mini tournament we had last week to determine the number one contender for the ECW Championship. Wade Barrett and Baron Corbin both were defeated. Of course, their winners are in the main event later on tonight. But here tonight it's kind of going to be a bronze medal for one of these two men. Who's going to get third place? Will it be Wade Barrett or will it be Baron Corbin? Both men really gave it a big fight at last week's ECW. Corbin certainly went all out, I should say, on Samoa Joe to try and guarantee a four-horseman final. But he made one tiny slip-up, and that allowed Samoa Joe to get the win. Wade Barrett showed his stamina and his endurance last week against Roddy Strong. But in the end, Roddy Strong was able to just work around and roll up Wade Barrett to pick up the win. But now we're going to be in for a very hard-hitting, brawling-style matchup. A lot of strikes going to be thrown in this one between these two men as Baron Corbin comes towards the ring now. I am interested to see who is going to be able to stop punching the other first. You know, these two men are going to go until their knuckles bleed, and then they're going to continue to punch one another. Baron Corbin, a Golden Gloves winner. Wade Barrett, a bare knuckle fighter. So both have their own their own brawling aspects to them, and both bring it to the table as well for the majority of their maneuvers. I mean, Wade Barrett's finisher is just a stiff elbow in the face. So you know, it kind of just goes to show how crucial the striking aspect is to Wade Barrett. Baron Corbin going to look for another win here. He had some backstage scoops that apparently they're looking to make Corbin the honorary horseman. By that, it means when they declare you an honorary horseman, you are free to go. You have been brought up in the world of the Four Horsemen, and you are free to go about your own path, much like Baron Corbin, to be fair, has done since he's joined the Four Horsemen. They are willing to let him go maybe and bring in another talent. Roddy Strong, though, in their eyes still may need some training. However, if he's to win the ECW Championship, should he become the number one contender here tonight, I would assume they would let him go as well. Interesting to see then what Arn and Jericho would do in regards to bringing in new Four Horsemen members. But I would like to see a new member of the Four Horsemen. I think he could give it a bit of added kick. Corbin, you know, has kind of been using Jericho and Arn Anderson more so for the experience factor and the learning curve. Whereas Roddy Strong is, you know, he's actually done some Horseman business. But I think that if they're able to get a great guy on ECW or maybe even from NXT, I think the Four Horsemen could once again be a tag team title challenger and not have to rely upon Jericho and Arn Anderson to do that. Perhaps then Jericho and Arn Anderson, or certainly Jericho, I think, out of those two, could go after the television title maybe, or in a huge stretch, maybe even the ECW title. Which by that point could be occupied by one Roddy Strong. You never know. I mean, I have total confidence in Seth Rollins, and I don't see why he shouldn't be able to get past Roddy Strong in a rematch with the title on the line, but you never know. You never know. It's always nice to be optimistic, and it's always great to see this ECW brand evolving with the level of talent that we have on it, and we're seeing two spectacular talents going at it in this ring right now. Kick out there at one by Corbin. Barrett's got off to the better start of the two men and is honing in on the back of Baron Corbin for the most part. Corbin with a big forearm shot to reverse his way out of that one, and here comes the strength now of Corbin. Over the shoulder powerbomb. But he's unable to capitalize on the ground there. Wade Barrett playing a bit of possum, and an elbow drop sends Baron Corbin reeling on the mat. Cover once more there by Barrett. By Barrett there. He's trying to get to work quickly here on Baron Corbin and try and keep him down so he can't unleash his hard strikes, and that's been working for the most part, but every time a strike gets reversed, Corbin's able to get his own going here, and there's a deep six! Right in the middle of the ring already. Cover on Barrett, but he barely... I don't think that was a one count there. But my God, was that one... was that fast by Baron Corbin. Now the Lone Wolf is feeling it here, but he's turned his back, and Wade Barrett's starting to get up to his feet now. Wade Barrett counters that one. Forearm in the face. Bullhammer! And a bullhammer that could well seal it. Cover on Corbin. 1, 2, and no! Corbin kicks out. Wade Barrett very nearly capitalized on Baron Corbin's mistake there and almost secured victory. Wade Barrett going to go a little bit uncharacteristic here. Up to the top rope. We're going to see him fly now. Double axe handle connects on the money. He's going to do it again. Wade Barrett feeling awfully confident about his ability on the top rope here. Oh, but he misses the elbow drop, and now Corbin can go after him here. Looks to capitalize. Needs to put a bit of damage in on Wade Barrett if he wants that end of days to finish this match. Camel clutch here being applied, more so like we've seen a Steiner, more like a Steiner recliner is what I should be saying there. Good English. Sweeps the legs though, and there goes Baron Corbin a little bit. Look at the strikes now by Wade Barrett. Backs him up into the corner. Oh my God, he went for a spinning heel kick. Never thought I would have seen that. Wade Barrett up on the second rope now, and that's a much better connected elbow drop. Barrett leaps into the cover here, trying to put away Corbin with everything he can, really. Very nearly did so there until Corbin got the shoulder up for 2, just about. But Wade Barrett is proving he still has what it takes to hang in this one. However, Corbin there, proving that the young gun that he is still got some... still got a lot of fight in him, rather. There's a 1 count, and Barrett really powered his way out of that kick out there. Trying to prove his strength factor there over Baron Corbin. These guys may be evening it out on weight. I can see them both being around the 260 marker. Maybe Barrett coming in a little bit lower, but certainly looks as if he's put on some muscle since well, since about last year when he main evented WrestleMania, and even then he was about ranging around the 250 range. Baron Corbin with a nice reversal there, and here it comes again, another deep 6. Wade Barrett in trouble here, the cover by Corbin, but it's still only a 1 count. Great kick out there by Wade Barrett. But he's left himself totally open now to Baron Corbin. Oh, what a counter there though by Wade Barrett. But Corbin pulls out his own reversal. What a punch in the face there. Oh! And that super kick into the gut saved him for a second. Wade Barrett going to go to the top rope once more. Going to try and demonstrate his strength here to Barrett. Corbin catches him as if he were nothing. End of days by Corbin. What a move. He got too confident, too cocky, and it cost him. And it cost him big time. The end of days plants him. Corbin into the cover. 1, 2, and no! Barrett kicks out. Didn't hook the leg, and that gave Barrett the opening he needed. And somehow Barrett's able to fight on here. This is an absolutely incredible brawl between these two men, that's for sure. Barrett in a little bit of trouble there. Looked like he was about to get caught by an overhead belly to belly. Did his very best to counter out of it though. DDT slams him down on the mat there, and Wade Barrett can now take a moment to catch his breath. Think about what he wants to do next in this one. Barrett going to go for the cover after that DDT, and oh, he's using the ropes. He's using the ropes to his advantage. I don't think the referee's copped onto it, and Wade Barrett still can't steal it. Corbin kicks out at a very, very late 2 count. Oh, what a lariat from behind there. Good counter there by Wade Barrett, and a leaping elbow catches him square on the head. Misses that follow-up elbow drop though. Good God, these two men have been competitive in this one. All out since the opening bell, and it's certainly gone even quicker in these final few moments. Deep 6, stuffed. I think he just got busted open by it as well. Wade Barrett could well close in on a huge victory here, and he's going to try and win the same way that Roddy did against him last week. Roll up on Corbin, but Corbin's out of it. Corbin counters the Irish whip once more. Wade Barrett in trouble here. Up on that top rope, he's about to be perched up there by Corbin. This one could hit hard for both men. I hope the ring's ready for this impact. Both men going down for a superplex. And Corbin finally has a moment to take control in this one. What a punch there. Drilled Wade Barrett. But it's Barrett who pulls out the counter there. Nicely done there right at the last moment. And now what can Wade Barrett do here? He's got a bloodied Baron Corbin in front of him. He's got an open wound in his eyes. It's a target, and here he is, capitalizing on it fully. Knees into the open wound. And as if that wasn't enough, a big boot into it for good measure. Wade Barrett has sure sent his message here to Baron Corbin. And now he's just staring down as Corbin tries to recover slowly and carefully here. But Wade Barrett doesn't care. Wasteland by Barrett. That whiplash effect for one. And then the impact of your back slamming into the mat for two. But Corbin's right up to his feet. Right away able to counter it. But it's only temporary. These two men having quite a brawl on the outside here. Baron Corbin now a little bit dazed, a little bit confused maybe. Oh no, and he's caught again for a second wasteland on the outside. Wade Barrett knew what he wanted to do with that one. And oh no, as if that wasn't enough, Wade Barrett looking to seal the deal with a kiss. A bullhammer kind of kiss. Back in the ring he goes, and Wade Barrett will take the count-out win over Baron Corbin. I don't know why he did it in that fashion. I don't know what brought Wade Barrett to end the match like that, but Corbin sent down with a hard impact there onto the outside. Two wastelands onto the thin padding. And then a bullhammer for good measure. Wouldn't surprise me if he completely missed the jaw and went after the open wound instead. Wade Barrett seems awfully happy about his victory here. The crowd in San Diego doesn't seem too thrilled about it. But at the end of the day, it's not as if Wade Barrett's going to care too much about them. Well, there we go. Barrett kind of claims the bronze medal, I guess, but something tells me that there is still more to be scratched away on this surface between Wade Barrett and Baron Corbin. If I didn't know better, the way Barrett ended that match, it seemed as if he wants a bit more of Corbin to prove that the Four Horsemen maybe, or maybe Baron Corbin, is not the future of ECW. And the future lies right there in Wade Barrett. Who knows, but I hope we get to see more, because that was a very entertaining, more sort of a strike fest than anything between those two men. We'll see, but we're going to move on to our next contest now. Rich Swann going to get a great opportunity here. He's going to go one-on-one against one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions, Bray Wyatt. Well, reasoning for this matchup is pretty simple. Rich Swann was kind of disappointed that he wasn't in the Cruiserweight matchup last week for that Cruiserweight title, and has asked for an opportunity here to prove that he is a viable asset to the ECW roster. I said, sure enough, go ahead. And Rich Swann said he wanted to take on a tough competitor, and he wanted to take on a champion, if he could. And I said, that's okay with me, I'll give you Bray Wyatt. So as Rich Swann here dances towards the ring, lighting up this San Diego crowd with his happy-go-lucky attitude. Still got to focus on this matchup here tonight against Bray Wyatt, ECW Tag Team Champion, two-time Tag Team Champion, former ECW Television Champion as well. Bray Wyatt has accomplished some in this universe. Rich Swann has got to look to try and pick up a huge win here, which could propel him up the rankings in some other divisions, perhaps even make him the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title. Swann and Neville will be an entertaining matchup for sure. That is if he can pick up the win here tonight over Bray Wyatt. Wyatt and Strowman, of course, successfully defended their tag team titles last week in a hard-fought contest against DIY to kick things off on ECW, so maybe they can get lucky. Maybe Swann can get lucky here. Maybe Wyatt is still feeling the effects of last week's grueling tag team matchup. Never mind. That's not Bray Wyatt. That's a tactic that has been played a number of times, and a tactic that I cannot stop because I don't want to get in this guy's face. That is Braun Strowman. And that is a man who does not want to deal with anyone at any time. And it doesn't seem as if even Braun Strowman can be bothered to sit through the rest of his entrance. Strowman is running right towards the ring, and you can see the reaction from Swann. They're very appropriate. Doesn't want any part of Strowman. Doesn't want to deal with this guy. But he's going to have to. The bell rings. We're underway here, and Rich Swann is in for a world of hurt, as so many cruiserweights have felt in the past. There's a kick to send off his mask. But Braun Strowman will give you a forearm that can send your jaw flying into the third row. We've seen a number of cruiserweights being left down by the pummeling effects of Braun Strowman. It seems as if the same was happening here. Perhaps Strowman wanted yet another target, yet another person to beat up, or Bray Wyatt just didn't see this as a viable threat to him, as a viable opponent, and has gone and sent the monster among men after him. Feeding time for Braun Strowman, essentially. Well, here we go. Strowman gets to do just that now. I wouldn't call this a feast. It's more so maybe a snack for Strowman. Something that can suffice him for a little while until he decides to get hungry again. Rich Swann, I deeply apologize for this. But when you ask for a tough challenger, sometimes, you know, well, things don't always go the way you want them to, I think, is the message we can take away from this match. And Rich Swann, you wanted a tough challenger. Well, you've got perhaps the toughest challenger on ECW. Oh, what a super kick there, and Swann sent Strowman down for a second, at best. Strowman right back up to his feet, and oh, went for a big boot there. Swann moves out of the way, though. Swann going to look for Hurricanrana. Oh my God, Swann going to look for a chiropractor after this one. What an impact there from that power bomb. Braun Strowman now just basically able to walk around with Rich Swann and just use him to his advantage. Oh, God. A huge splash in the corner. And Strowman is going to look to end this one. And we know how. Braun Strowman brings him in, as so many have fallen before, to the running power slam. Strowman in the cover. Strowman is the winner. Braun Strowman picks up yet another win here and continues on his undefeated streak in this universe. Like I said, not feeding time, but a little snack for the monster among men until he decides to get hungry again. Let's hope he doesn't get hungry in this show, because the next 2 matches we've got coming up are going to be very, very entertaining matches. That's for sure. Well, there we go. Not much I can say about that one. I'm not doubting Rich Swann's ability, because at the end of the day, it's Braun Strowman. Can't rate the guy when he's in the ring against Braun Strowman, because more often than not, they get destroyed. You look at the ones who have been able to hang with him, you're looking at a handful at best. Well, there we go. Strowman walks through Rich Swann, but we're going to move on. We're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on what's coming up next. And what's coming up next is going to be a pretty damn good matchup, if you ask me, between Tetsuya Naito and the former ECW television champion, Dean Ambrose. Alright, well, this one is going to be a bit of a wilder matchup, I think, between these two men. We've got Tetsuya Naito coming towards the ring. First time we've seen him since he took on Seth Rollins a little bit before Money in the Bank, maybe? God, he had to have a match at some point before that. Maybe it was after Money in the Bank. But anyway, Naito here coming towards the ring. I didn't realize it had been so long. He gets a nice opportunity here tonight to take on the former ECW television champion, and the man who, as we saw last week, certainly isn't best pleased about everything that happened. Dean Ambrose took it upon himself to attack Aleister Black before his matchup against Chris Jericho, as a way of saying that what happened at SummerSlam has not finished the battle between these two men, and there is still far more to go before this one is all said and done. So with that being said, here tonight, though, Tetsuya Naito's going to try and turn his Dean Ambrose is going to try and turn his attention away from Aleister Black in the television championship to Tetsuya Naito, because if Naito picks up the win here, for all we know, Naito may be considered the number 1 contender over Ambrose, but considering Ambrose was champion long enough, I may well have to give him a rematch clause. If I give him a rematch clause and Naito wins, could be a triple threat for the title. I'm just saying. It's a big opportunity here for Naito. Win over a former champion is always a pretty big deal. And as Dean Ambrose gets in the ring here tonight, can he bounce back from that SummerSlam loss? Can he pull out a win here tonight over Naito? He's still lacking, if memory serves me correct, his first win on ECW. Well, we'll see. And I think is guaranteed, though, this is going to be a very enthralling matchup, a very entertaining matchup between these two men. So let's see how this one goes. In the middle of the ring, they go to start. Collar and elbow tie-up, and immediately Naito overpowers Ambrose. We get a nice, respectable, clean break between the two men. Very interesting to see Ambrose wanted to go for the collar and elbow start, considering Ambrose, you know, the lunatic that he is, way more known for his high-octane brawling style offense. And a very technical start here between both men. Dean Ambrose puts in that arm lock here on Naito, who gets out of it, goes behind, and Ambrose is able to get his way out of it here. What a technical back and forth. Kind of ended in a stalemate there more than anything. Neither guy able to get a win there over the other in that one, but Naito's decided enough of that. Let's get into the match. Quick need to start things off, and Naito getting things underway with quick strikes here. Nice drop kick there to Ambrose. Ambrose moves out of the way, though, and here come the strikes now from the Lunatic Fringe. But slows it right back down with a chin lock. Ambrose wrestling a very interesting style right now. Trying to wrestle like a very technical wrestler against Tetsuya Naito, and I'm not too sure how much that one's going to work out. Naito going to try and make him pay for it with this neck breaker. Ambrose pulls out the reversal, and that's much more like Dean Ambrose. Exploding away there with a hard lariat to the face. Chops to light up the chest. And a spiking DDT there for good measure. Ambrose certainly proven that he's been able to put his mind away off of Aleister Black thus far. And on to Tetsuya Naito in the corner now, flying forearm, and the Bulldog follow-up. Ambrose caught that one on the money. And where's Naito going now? Naito going outside to recover. Interesting that he would decide to do such. Ambrose, though, not going to give him the leisure of waiting around. A double axe handle sends him down on the outside here, and now they go to brawling on the outside. Oh, that could be dangerous. Dragon suplex on the outside. Ambrose, no matter how crazy he is, he doesn't want to take something like that, but he'll be forced to take a German suplex on the padding. Great counter there by Naito, ducked under the punch at just the right time. And, oh, it doesn't look like it's getting much better for Dean Ambrose. Tilt-a-whirl DDT onto the padding. His head is being turned into mush right now. Entire body being turned into mush by Naito. Oh, but he strikes right back there and sends Naito back into the ring at the count of 7. This one will continue on here. We could be in for another Barrett and Corbin-esque match here, just back and forth. Quick-paced moves on one another. And Ambrose brings him towards the middle of the ring here and eyeing up Naito before that strike into the gut, into the chest. Trying to hope he could gain an advantage from it, but Naito very quick to counter. He's been proving his own in this matchup. Gonna look for some kind of powerbomb here. Great counter there by Dean Ambrose. Gets himself out of it, and the Lunatic fires away there with a flurry of strikes. Naito in a little bit of trouble right now. The Lunatic getting into his own element. And now with him up on the top rope, will he look for it? Indeed he will. The top rope elbow drop on Naito. Down he goes. And into the cover as well goes Ambrose. Will he put away Naito here? No, he won't. 2 count. This one continues on here. What a good showing it's been by Ambrose thus far. Naito, though, with a spinning heel kick, very quickly turning the match around in his favor. That was unexpected, to say the least. It's, oh, Naito look for now. Koji clutch. That's what he looked for. Naito going to stitch it in, but Ambrose is right next to the ropes. But I think Naito is blocking his leg in the way they may be blocking Ambrose from reaching the ropes. Or maybe Ambrose just enjoys the pain of being locked in a submission. Who knows with this man? There's a few eggs loose in his basket. As Ambrose, though, may well have just cracked some of them in Naito's head with that hard back suplex. It almost like he dumped him on his head. He's certainly going to do it with this tornado DDT. Naito goes down. Ambrose kind of starting to run away with this one now. It's not looking as fair as it did a moment ago. Never mind, I scratched that. Naito with a flying forearm shot there. What's he looking for now? He's taking his time. Oh, that's what he's going to do. Naito getting a little bit more disrespectful in this one now. He is starting to do some big damage here. Ambrose stuck on the ground and not doing, well, much at all here. Oh, there we go. Finally, Ambrose pulls out the reversal. Hard uppercut shot, and into the Dirty Deeds. Plants him down. That came out of absolutely nowhere. Into the cover here to try and get the win, and he won't. Naito kicks out. Well, that was close there to it being a victory, but Naito's still showing he's got some fight left in him. Kicking the leg there. Oh, rake of the eyes by Naito. He is going to any extreme to try and pull out the win in this one. Once again, Ambrose counters that attempted neck breaker. And turns it into a Michinoku driver here on Naito to try and put him away here, but still, Naito showing he's got a lot of fight left in him. Headbutted in there, just full on. And Ambrose now sent backwards, but it's only for the lunatic lariat. Flying in at him there. Dean Ambrose giving it his all against Naito right now. Naito needs to turn this one around if he wants to try and win here. Whole lot of moves being done on his head. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw him busted open some point in this matchup. Sweeps the leg away though. And that could give him a few moments to recover. Oh my god. Naito proving his strength, swinging Dean Ambrose around. We saw this from Cesaro last week, and we've seen it from Cesaro more often than not, but Naito proving his strength. Look at how high up Ambrose was as a result of it. Into the cover here on a very dazed and dizzy Dean Ambrose. The referee even dizzy from it because he can't get in to count this pin. There's 2. There is a kick out by Ambrose. Naito wants to believe it was 3, but certainly was not the case. Hard shot there. Naito going to look for something here. What are we going to see? Oh, back suplex of some sorts. I have no idea what that move was, but it was certainly a very nice one by Naito. I'll say that as much. Didn't look... Well, he didn't capitalize there. Turns him around. Will he look for that move again? No, he won't. He'll go for a backbreaker into a neck breaker now. Naito has Ambrose running slightly. But Ambrose able to pull out the reversal and get himself right back in contention to try and win this one. Ambrose going to go up to the top rope here. Elbow drop. Down goes Naito. Cover one. Sorry, Naito still down here. Cover after it. 2 count. What more does Ambrose have to do to secure the win here over Naito? This by just strikes now by Ambrose. The lunatic fringe once more relying on his hard-hitting offense to try and gain the victory here. Naito does a good job of shutting that one down quickly. We saw that kind of pump handle suplex by Tetsuya Naito, but we haven't seen anything else. He hasn't tried to bring anything else here. He didn't even try and go for the pin after it. So it makes me think, has he got something else planned? Will he look for it? Will he try and finish the match with it? Well, he's trying to finish the match with a stomp there. That's a bit hysterical. The only man we know who can finish with a stomp is, of course, Seth Rollins, because his stomp is the best in the business. See Naito, he's got Ambrose on the ground, but he's very impatient. He doesn't like to try and get Ambrose up to his feet. He just likes to continue going to work on the ground, and it makes me think that should he have some kind of finishing maneuver, it makes me think, why hasn't he gone for it? Unless that Koji clutch of his, or that pump handle suplex is his finisher, which would be a little bit weird if it was. It doesn't look like exactly a damaging move. I could do some damage though, drop kicking him right in the leg. Come on, Naito. Show us you've got something big, but that sounded wrong. Ambrose will not stay down though, for Naito to try and show that he's got some kind of finishing maneuver. Counter there by Naito quickly. Ambrose spun around. And Naito finally gets that neck breaker that he's been looking for all match. What will we see here? Will it be that Koji clutch again? Yes, it will. He's got it in here on Ambrose. Dead center, middle of the ring. Ambrose with nowhere to go. Not knowing as the man to tap out. Will Ambrose force himself to submit here? Definitely not. In fact, he's going to force himself to continue on this match in control. No, he's not. Counter by Naito. And Naito here going to go for a power bomb maybe. Slams down Ambrose. Covers him after it. Ambrose may be in big trouble here. There's 2. And oh, there's 3. Tetsuya Naito just picked up the win there. That was very, very close to being an Ambrose win, if you ask me. But Naito pulled out the win. And that finishes that. That seals that deal, and that may well just push Naito into the ECW Championship, Television Championship forefront. I could certainly see it being the case, but who knows? What a win that was, though, for Naito. Congratulations to him there on that win. Just about picking up the win over Ambrose, but still showed that you can't count him out. That was entertaining. We're going to move on now to our next contest. No, we're not. I forgot. How could I forget? I feel wrong. I feel very wrong for saying that. What I was supposed to say was coming up next. We're going to be in a spectacle. We're going to be in an incredible moment. We're going to be celebrating a true man, a true hero. And someone everyone for generations to come can look up to. The man who saved ECW. Up next, we hear from the 3-time ECW champion, Seth Rollins. There he is. The man of the hour. The savior. The true hero that he is. Seth Rollins. He saved us. He saved us all. He saved each and every one of us. He goes to show that the heroes don't wear capes. Not all heroes do. Seth Rollins is our modern day hero. Seth Rollins is a man who we can look up to and thank. Go to sleep at night saying thank you, Seth Rollins. And you know what? I'm gonna do exactly what you want there, Rollins. Let's all give him a round of applause. Come on. Thank you, Rollins. Thank you. Thank you for everything you have done for ECW. Thank you for saving us from the plague that was Diamond Dallas Page. And thank you as we can finally start to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim ECW as we see fit. And Rollins is totally right there. It's not just about Seth Rollins, it's not just about myself. It's about the hard-working men of ECW. Sounded a bit sexist, but you know, we're kind of an all-man roster. But it's about the hard work they put in week and week out to please everyone. And from now on, ECW is not going to be a place where people like Diamond Dallas Page hog the spotlight. No. It's going to be a place where opportunities are handed out to those who deserve it. And there's Rollins linking it in. And no greater is that proved than tonight, with the main event coming up next. That ECW #1 contendership match that comes up next. Both men are going to fight. Both men are going to give it their all. They know what they've done to get here. But remember this, Samoa Joe. Remember this, Roderick Strong. You may well have done your best to get here, but it's what you've got to do once you get past tonight that matters. It's all well and good becoming the #1 contender, but what about when you've got to go face to face with that man? What about when you got to go face to face with the greatest wrestler in the world today, the architect of ECW and the 3-time ECW champion, Seth Rollins? Then we rate how you are on ECW. Then we see how you hold up to the greatest wrestler alive today. Then you get to prove yourself as a viable contender or not. Not the match that you're going to win tonight, which of course, as you can see by that graphic, is up next. Seth Rollins, I know, will be paying close attention to this one. I will be as well, because I'll be calling this matchup, but I know Rollins will be in the back with a close eye on this one. Who will become the #1 contender for the ECW Championship? Will Roderick Strong overcome the odds maybe and prove that it is his time to vie after Seth Rollins' ECW title? Or will Samoa Joe prove that it is finally his time to get a shot at a title, and that no one, especially Roderick Strong, is going to get in his way of preventing it? We'll find out. It's your main event of ECW, and it's up next. San Diego is ready. The competitors are ready. Seth Rollins is ready, and I am ready as well. Ready to see this incredible main event attempt to steal the spotlight for the match of the week. Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe, two incredibly well-versed wrestlers. Two wrestlers who have traveled the world and accomplished so much. Here in this universe, both men want to go for that world title. Samoa Joe has won the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship in the past. Roddy Strong, former Cruiserweight Champion, I believe so, but has never held a title bigger than that. That could all change here tonight. Tonight could be the key to Roddy Strong's success. Unlike Diamond Dallas Page and unlike those idiots on Raw who side against the Bullet Club, I'm not going to talk down to my own roster. I'm not going to speak ill of the fine talent that this roster possesses. These two men are fighters. These two men are going to be courageous warriors here tonight in the quest to go after Seth Rollins and the ECW Championship. But only one man can go to that final part. Only one man can advance on. And tonight we find out just who it's going to be. Samoa Joe comes towards the ring, and you can tell he is ready for a fight here tonight. Both these men have respect for one another. They talked it out in the locker room earlier tonight when the show was going on. Talking about the respect for one another, but how when that bell rings, they hold nothing back, and they go all out on one another in the attempt to become the #1 contender. And that is something that I can totally respect, totally deal with, and totally understand. Let's see, though, what is going to transpire here. Samoa Joe ready. The crowd in San Diego may well be split to pick a favorite in this one. I am ready. I am hyped. I am hyped now for this one. I'm excited. Let's do this. Roddy Strong in one corner, Samoa Joe in the other. Who's going to become the #1 contender to face Seth Rollins a little over 2.5 weeks from now? Let's find out. The bell rings. We're underway. And Samoa Joe goes right after Roddy Strong there with the STO. Sending him down. And Joe going a little bit slower here off the start. Oh, but Roddy Strong able to fight his way out there quickly. Let's see what will happen here between these two men. Joe certainly going for the bigger moves off the start there, as we saw from that belly-to-belly suplex. And here we go. This is Joe now kind of coming into his own, going after Roddy Strong right from the start. Cross arm breaker here. Got it stitched into an armbar even on Roddy Strong. Locked the legs across there, so it's even harder for Strong to slip out, but very nice job there by Strong. Saw a split-second opportunity, and he gets out of it. Strong going to try and turn this match into his favor now. Good idea for Joe to go after the arms as well. Takes away the finishing maneuver of Roddy. Roddy, though, with a hard knee into the head, and there's a belly-to-belly of his own. Roddy Strong giving up some, I'd say, easily 60, 70 pounds in this one to Samoa Joe. Roddy going to be about the 210, and I think Joe's got to be about 280, maybe even 290. But Roddy Strong's not letting that hold him back. He's using his speed to his advantage here, but we know Joe's got just as much speed as well. Drop kick there. And Roddy Strong can't take control, actually. He's unable to capitalize in the moment, and now Samoa Joe is counted as well, though. Kick in the back of the leg there by Roddy Strong. Choke slam, maybe. Great counter out, though, by Joe. DDT, which certainly helps out should Joe decide to go for that Kakina clutch. Oh, what a tilt-a-whirl DDT by Roddy as well. Very much so a back-and-forth start to this matchup. Dragon Sleeper applied. Can Roddy Strong put away Samoa Joe here? No, he definitely can't, especially when Joe is going to be hard-hitting, well, with hard knees like that to get himself out of it. Elbow in the back of the head. Oh, okay. This is almost too quick to call. One moment Joe's in control, the next moment it's Roddy, the next moment it's Joe. Very much so a back and forth one here. Roddy's going to have to do a lot of damage to Joe if he wants to pick up the win in this one. And he's looking to go all out here. There's the strength of Roddy being shown once more. Fireman's carry, gutbuster there. And Roddy will follow up with a drop kick to send him down. What great work there by Roddy Strong. And a diving fish drop, and I think Joe's busted open from it. I did not expect to see that, but that is exactly what has happened. Samoa Joe now. Was he going to go? He looked for a powerbomb there. Roddy got his way out of it. Roddy counters. And Roddy's going to go for it now. He'll be able to nail it down on Joe there. End of heartache. Is Roddy Strong just like that going to become #1 contender? He is! What? Roddy Strong just changed that all around. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting that main event to be such a hard-hitting affair, but Roddy Strong just went all out in this one. 100 miles an hour from the starting gate, and Samoa Joe somehow had no response for an end of heartache. Brought that one to an end. And ladies and gentlemen, Roderick Strong is officially the #1 contender for the ECW Championship. Well, there we go. He wanted it. He desired that chance, and now Roddy Strong has the opportunity to prove that it is his time, to prove that he can stop Seth Rollins, to prove that he can try and become the ECW champion. And he'll get his opportunity in about 2.5 weeks from now. Congratulations to Roddy there. Commiserations to Joe. I'm surprised he didn't put up as much as a fight as I expected out of him. Roddy, your winner. And there you have it. Seth Rollins and Roderick Strong for the ECW Championship will main event the next ECW pay-per-view, which I will have the name of next week. I'll end this episode of Universe though. Thank you guys for watching. Take care guys, and ta-ra.